All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to RickCast on this wonderful, beautiful, magnificent Thursday evening, the 17th of July, 2025. I hope everybody's having a good Thursday. Mine is fine. Mine is very good. I just finished this kids camp thing that I volunteered to do, and I know I know you're all gassed. I know you're all tired, so you don't want to hear another person complain that they're tired. But man, wrangling a bunch of little kids. That's why I taught high school. I'll tell you that much. This is why I taught high school, and that's about that. So tonight's show is probably, I don't want to say it's a speed run. I always say that and ends up being like 45 minutes to an hour. But we're gonna make sure we talk about our topics that we have lined up. And then we might end a little bit early because it's a double dip tonight for me. News from the Pew is going to start at 7:40 Central, 8:40 Eastern time, and I want to make sure that I have even a little bit of energy to make sure I can give Steve everything I can for a good show then. So we're going to be looking at that tonight here on RickCast, but I'm still here. We're still going to be doing our show. We have our topics lined up. Trump approval rating is apparently up, and that's very strange to people considering the Epstein story. I guess it really does prove that Twitter is not real life, that it is just a bunch of nerds, a bunch of political heads yammering about the same things, and a bunch of conspiracy theorists yammering about the same thing. And maybe the general public doesn't care. Maybe the general public doesn't care because you have, if people care about the economy. What's the phrase? It's the economy, stupid. It's always been the economy, stupid. And if the economy is any good, then most people won't get involved in it, or most people won't care what else happens. Most people won't give a rip what else happens if the economy is doing well. And maybe this is it. And I want to apologize to Dean. I did not have the chance to change the board. He gave me some really good suggestions, and I totally flubbed it. I've been flubbing it with everybody today, so I apologize around. It's just one of those days, guys. It's just one of those days. So we're gonna get through it here. We're gonna have a good show. We don't take nights off, even when they're rough nights. We still have nights, right? We're not like the NBA today. We don't load manage on this show. We're like the NBA of the 80s and the 90s. We play through. I'll give you as close to 82 games in the season as I can. So definitely going to be more than merrier. Good evening, Brian. Good to see you, bud. So Trump's approval ratings are up. I bet you didn't know about something called the Dignity Act. Yeah, that's the new amnesty bill that the Republicans are pushing through Congress. I hope you like my Christmas mug. Yeah. Yeah, it's the only mug, I could find. So the Dignity Act is being pushed through Congress right now. And that's going to be the newest amnesty bill that's going to clear, which that will take down the Republican Party more than the Epstein stuff, because more people care about immigration than that. And then we're going to end on some funny stuff from Shane Gillis, who was given the mic for the ESPYs. Excuse me, and his monologue is one for the books. I got 3 clips from it. Some pretty funny stuff. Of course, people are championing, oh, it's the end of wokeness. Oh, it's the end of this. And it's really not. It's just another thing that the powers that be allowed to happen, so you're convinced that it's ending. Nice, Brian. Your travel mug is a Christmas mug. Yeah, the script is written. It's already written, G Money. Yeah, Rasmussen's daily tracking is better, but this poll has his overall numbers up. So it is interesting. So we're going to talk about that, Dean. So it is what it is in that regard. So let's get into it here on RickCast. First story up, though, I got one warm-up story that I'm sure will make all of you so happy, and will reestablish the idea that we have indeed the greatest ally in the world ever, the greatest ally. Right, here it is from NPR of all places. NPR of all places. Israel strikes Gaza Catholic Church, the only real Catholic church in Gaza, killing 3 and wounding a priest. That's pretty under that. They're really not selling it because the priest they injured is the Pope's father. I'll repeat that again. The priest that was injured is the Pope's father, who was close to late Pope. Not late Pope. It's close to the Pope. These people are foolish. And so let's see here. Get out of here. I don't care. An Israeli shell slammed into the compound of the only Catholic church in the Gaza Strip on Thursday, killing 3 people and wounding 10 others, including the parish priest, according to church officials. So when they say a shell slammed into the compound, this is what the shell means. This is what happened to it. So the shell is not here. That isn't. It's apparently it was an IDF tank. You know, the IDF tank rolled into the church, destroyed the church, and then the Israeli tank, from what is, being talked about, took aim at the cross to try and blow it up, and of course they missed. So, yeah, you have our greatest ally going up. And yes, Michael brings up a great point about how we've really been quiet as Zelensky has done terrible, awful things in Ukraine. And I think from what I read last week, a bunch of Russian drones hit the Holy Seas ambassador, the actual the embassy in Ukraine. So that wasn't a good day either. But yes, that happened. Trump's press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, was asked, and here's her response.
Good afternoon, Caroline. In Gaza today, Holy Family Catholic Church was struck by an Israeli shell.
Yes.
3 people were killed, 10 wounded. What is the president's reaction to that church coming under fire?
It was not a positive reaction. He called Prime Minister Netanyahu this morning to address the strikes on that church in Gaza, and I understand the Prime Minister agreed to put out a statement. It was a mistake by the Israelis to hit that Catholic church. That's what the Prime Minister relayed to the President, and you should look at the Prime Minister's statement that will be coming out.
So there you go. That's her response. Okay, so I thought he said Ukraine. He was actually talking about the Kamani Cathedral in Nagasaki. Yeah, the one that got, a nuclear bomb dropped on it. Yeah. It happens. So you have our greatest ally bombing a Catholic church. And, we sent a strongly worded letter to tell them don't do it again. The shelling of the Holy Family Catholic Church in Gaza also damaged the church compound where hundreds of Palestinians have been sheltering from the 21-month-old Hamas-Israeli war. Israel expressed regret over it. Pretty much regret that they got caught for it. And it's one of these things. We talked about it yesterday. You guys sat back and you guys clapped for the Iranians being bombed, and now you can't say crap about Gaza. Not that you were saying anything before about it, but still, it is what it is in that regard. Yeah, right. Dear BB, I'm already covering up Epstein. Give me a break. Give me some breathing room here, bud. Let me, give me some time here before you have to do your next stupid thing. So yeah, that's your first story of the night here on RickCast. Do me a huge favor, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, help the show grow. We had a great interview last night with Joey Olivo. And if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out, Protecting the Church. We talked for a little over an hour, and he was a great guy to talk to. So great to have him on, and we'll continue growing the channel. We're over 200 subscribers now, which is pretty sweet, considering how much we have to just claw for every single subscriber. And we're happy for every single one of them. Anyway, let's get to our first official story of the night. I know Dean was firing off some other stuff about Rasmussen, which is true, but this is from Newsweek.com. Donald Trump's approval rating flips with Gen X. So it may not be good across the board, according to the dailies with Rasmussen, but it's actually flipping with certain age brackets. President Donald Trump's approval rating has flipped among voters from Generation X, a poll has revealed. And this is from a CNN SSR survey. Trump's popularity has increased by 23 points since April, with voters aged 50 to 64. The polling shows that this age group, who fall under the Gen X, born 1965 to 1980, which means I just missed the cut, which means I'm a lame millennial, is the only demographic where Trump is enjoying a net positive approval rating. Now, why does this matter? That's a pretty interesting question. Trump's popularity has fluctuated throughout his presidency, and recent polls have suggested he is a net overall negative approval rating, like Dean has told us in the chat. He was very correct in that, right? Rasmussen has the dailies. Trump is going down across the board. The only thing he's doing close to neutral on is immigration, and we're going to look in the next story of the day how that might not be there for long. So we have that. That's why that matters. News of Gen X support may help Trump bolster the support of his allies as he tries to unite the Republican Party ahead of the November 2026 midterm elections. Especially, they're looking for any kind of good news in light of the mishandling of the Epstein files. We've covered it more than I have ever covered the Epstein stuff here on this program, only because it keeps resurfacing. It keeps popping up time after time after time after time. So this is that's actually, that is a really excellent point. All-Star. All-Starf. I'm an idiot, so I can't say your name. It is the last group that's really brainwashed about Israel. And you're right. They're probably in ecstasy over, dropping bombs on Iran. So where am I? Where'd my little picture go? Did I disappear? Can y'all hear me? So, there I am. Yeah, because of the comment. Anyway, so, you Texans, you guys, I do anything for my Texans. The survey of 1,557 voters, just 57 voters, sampled across different age groups, was conducted between July 10th and July 13th, 2025, has a margin of error of plus minus 3.5 percentage points. A previous CNN SSRS poll conducted between April 17th and April 24th found that 43% of voters in this age range approved of Trump and 56% disapproved, leaving him with a net approval rating of minus 13. So, Trump's doing okay with other groups. According to a YouGov Economist poll, president has a net approval rating from plus 80 plus from conservatives. This is similar levels during the start of his second term. He's also getting more traction with Hispanic voters. This is probably because of immigration. Actually, most Hispanics here in these United States support immigration, which, people are always shocked about. Other polls paint a bleaker picture. A Tyson Group poll conducted June 25th through 26th among 1,027 adults showed Trump at 45% approval and 51% disapproval overall. The latest CNN SSRS poll showed Trump's overall approval rating as a net negative 16, suggesting that the president is still struggling to command unanimous support. With the Epstein thing happening and with, certain parts of the MAGA base not happy with the Iran stuff and overall the Democrats' hatred of Trump, he's never going to have a 100%. He's never going to enjoy amazing approval ratings. So Trump has a small foothold on middle-aged voters approaching the back nine of their lives. This age group is one that traditionally is more likely to go to the polls and vote at election time, says Thomas Wallen. We'll go with Wallen. An associate professor teaches U.S. politics at Boston University. Of course, the big question is whether the support is sustainable in the long term, given dramatic cuts. And of course, he's going to say, well, Trump's big, beautiful bill, blah, blah, blah. So, also rising inflation due to tariffs will eat away at their retirement savings and standard of living. That's what the thing is. It doesn't matter what these polls say now. What is the economy going to be telling us? around the midterms. That's the thing. What is the economy look like at the midterms? We talked about it yesterday. The average home buyer is 51 years old. Buying power has gone down significantly. Gas is not cheaper. Food is not cheaper. Cost of living is not cheaper. If these things do not dramatically improve within the next 6 months, which I don't know how you can do so, then the midterms are going to be a lot more difficult, regardless of whatever happens with the Epstein trial, the Epstein files. But it's interesting to see that right now, you have supposed spikes in support in our Rumble user, all star HR. I'm stupid. If y'all know how that this is our, they love how Trump's supporting Israel. That's completely correct. So as long as the support for Israel, or as long as they continue to do that, then that group is going to just absolutely adore Trump. So we'll see. You're right, Michael. They will print money like crazy right before the midterms. Yeah, I'm sorry. This was the only mug I could find. So this is not a political statement. This is this is a coffee mug statement. My Waffle House cup is in the dishwasher. And I know I have a Waffle House cup there. I just never washed it. It's for decorating. Far is Germanic, so pronounce par. Oh, okay. All-star par. Thank you. You know what? I appreciate when people actually explain their usernames to idiotas like myself. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Truly. All right. This is RickCast. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. In case you're coming in late, I'm kind of running on a little bit of vacuums just from my day job, where I decided to support a kids camp Monday through Thursday, and wrangling the kids. Wrangled kids on that kind of stuff in like 10 years, so kind of took the wind out of me. Plus, I have news from the pew tonight at 7:40 Central, 8:40 Eastern. So I don't want to. I've been falling asleep on Steve in the back half of the show, so I got to make sure I have something for him when we get there. So we are going to kind of move on to our next story. Although I will say this is very interesting. The guy who was traveling with the Annabelle doll died. Yeah. Well, the Annabelle doll is haunted. It's possessed by a demon. Don't travel with it. That's what happens. It's kind of stupid stuff that people do. Kind of stupid stuff. And it doesn't shock me. Because why would you do something foolish like that? Right? Why would you be foolish? Hamas is Catholic, like I'm Rick Barrett. I hope you're not Rick Barrett. You'd at least be able to pronounce your own name if it was. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to our next story of the night. So, Rook, White House plans to screw over voters with proposed new bill. This is all happening while everything else. This is from July 16, 2025. White House Republicans are joining Democrats to introduce legislation they believe will finally fix America's immigration system. Let's listen to the idea of the Dignity Act.
A group of bipartisan lawmakers announced a bill that would provide legal status for some undocumented immigrants. The Dignity Act, sponsored by Florida Republican Congresswoman Maria Vida Salazar and Texas Democratic Congresswoman Veronica Escobar, would allow undocumented immigrants who have been in the U.S. since before 2021 to apply for up to 7 years of legal status with work authorization, provided that they pay restitution and check in with DHS regularly. It also includes enhanced border security provisions and protections for Dreamers. At a press event today, Salazar was quick to point out that the bill does not include a pathway to citizenship, and she insisted the bill does not provide amnesty.
Remember that dignity is not amnesty. It does not have path to citizenship. We're not talking about becoming Americans. We are trying to just bring them out of the shadows and have them go work in peace, pay taxes, and come back home.
And joining me now is Florida Republican Congresswoman Maria Vida Salazar here in the in studio. Congresswoman, we really appreciate your time on a significant day for you. Look, we have seen different immigration reform plans fail in Congress before. This Dignity Act, you put forward something similar back in 2023, I believe. What makes this attempt different?
Everything in life is timing, and everything in politics is timing. And this is the time for something like this. The border is secured. The BBB assures $150 billion for border security in the southern border. Now it's time to have a national conversation as to what are we going to do with those people who have been here for more than 5 years. Mm-hmm. They are needed in the economy. They don't have a criminal record, and they are needed. So dignity is the best solution, is not path to citizenship, is not amnesty. It only lets them stay, work, and pay taxes.
I thought it was interesting. I was hearing, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but if they pay $7,000 over 7 years, and
1% of their income or their salary over 7 years, we're talking about two pots of money. One, $50 billion that we're going to give back to the Treasury. And the other one is $70 billion that we can use to re-educate or retrain American workers. It's a lot of money. I believe that after the border has been sealed with the BBB, $150 billion that we have assigned, I think the moment now is to have that national conversation and determine who are we going to be targeting. I do believe that the president promised that the illegals who are criminals were going to be kicked out of the country. Now there is another mass of people, who most of them are Hispanics, who have been here for more than 5 years. They have been contributing to the economy, who do not have a criminal record. And those people are the ones who deserve some type of dignity. And for that reason, I'm introducing today, so I thank you for the opportunity, immigration reform. A GOP member of Congress is going to be trying to give dignity, not amnesty.
It's amnesty. It's amnesty. It's 100% amnesty. And you guys in the chat are absolutely killing it when you say they will. Trump was elected on the strongest margins for immigration. People want mass deportations, regardless of how people feel or whatever the case may be or how it's done. People want mass immigration. I'm sorry, mass deportation. And this woman is apparently trying to reintroduce this, right? This is something that was tried to be introduced before. And now it's, well, we're going to do it again. And guess what? 20 representatives have signed on to the quote unquote Dignity Act. You have the Republicans, Florida Representative Salazar, New York Rep Mike Lawler, California Rep David Valdo, Washington Rep David Newhouse, Pennsylvania Rep Mike Kelly, Pennsylvania Rep Brian Fitzpatrick, Colorado Rep Gabe Evans, Indiana Rep Marlon Strutzman, Nebraska Rep Don Bacon, and California Rep Young Kim. It actually might get through, which is a terrible, terrible idea, because there should not be granting of amnesty. Exactly. All-star par. It's, this is how Republicans get set up. They'll pass it. Oh, it's not amnesty. And then they'll say anybody under the Dignity Act is given citizenship. It's an easy setup for them. And it's the same BS that Reagan pulled. That's right. That's why California is a blue state, is because something like this. Some kind of idea. And I am a representative from Florida and I am a Republican and I'm going to give them shut the up. Just shut up, lady. Nobody cares. Nobody wants this. The only people that want this, I don't know why she wants it. I don't know why. But you know what? It might actually have a chance of passing, because Trump has been talking about laying out some kind of special clause for the farm industry and how the farmers need to be protected there. And it's just like Republicans cannot get out of their own way. There should be a moratorium on immigration, not an amnesty. And I don't care what she says, it's amnesty. If you're allowing them to stay, it's some form of amnesty. So it's absolutely stinking ridiculous that these Republicans, it's all about timing. What do you mean timing? This is the worst time to do it. There's never a good time. And yes, you guys are completely right. This just shows you that once again, national politics is not the answer. You should be governing your own state. We should secede if we can. And it's absolutely dumb that anybody would come out with anything that even smells like an amnesty bill right now. Well, now the border is sealed. Yeah, it's not going to be sealed forever because eventually some kind of psychotic, satanic, democratic administration is going to come back in and they're going to open the thing back up. See, this is the problem with politicians. They operate as if they're the way that things are running right now is the way that things are going to run forever. And it just doesn't work that way. The levers, the pendulum always swings back and forth. You cannot absolutely run this as if the Republicans are going to be in power, even for the next 8 years. That's right. Ridgeliners unite. Ridgeliners of the world unite. Yeah, maybe he does want to only give him amnesty because his deportation numbers are trash. Maybe. If he gives him amnesty, then hey, I got rid of all the illegals. Whatever the case may be, this is an absolutely terrible look. And the fact that this is even happening just shows that the Republicans are just desperate to be back in the losing party. They love being out of power. They love writing fundraisers and cashing checks. Democrats actually like to have the levers of power because then they can do what they want to do. And Republicans love being the minority party so they can fundraise and complain. Yeah, the fact that Trump could not get those deportations off the ground has opened this up. If we were getting 1 million deportations a month, right? We're in month 6, or even 500,000 deportations a month, then this conversation doesn't happen. I hope Tom Homan, say whatever you will about Tom Homan. I hope he steps in and is like, you can't do this. If you do this, what am I even doing here? Oh, I got to check and see when you've only been in here since 2002. You have to go, but you've been here since 1997. Like, what is the arbitrary date? Oh, you've been here since 2021 or 2005. What? That without a criminal record? Are we going to have to go through the same song and dance that if they're here illegally, they have a criminal record because they broke the law? We have to go through the song and dance every single time because our representatives in government don't even want the law to be enforced. They don't even want the law to be enforced because they want to give amnesty to these people so they can keep the tax base. That's really what this is about. It's about keeping tax base because we have a dwindling population. They realize that if they deport all of the illegal migrants, that there's going to be a lot of problems funding things or to try and hide the fact that they print money. So they're like, oh, let's give like mini amnesty to this group of people so it doesn't look so bad when we deport everybody else, supposedly. But this is an absolute mess. And that's what you get with Republicans in charge. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is RickCast. Do me a favor while you're hanging out with me. Like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, and allow the show to continue to grow. We're over 200 subscribers. I know that's not a lot to big channels, but to this channel, we're super happy that happened. So let's see. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, God provides. I think God provides, Michael. I don't remember Spain was pretty much all colonized up at one point. So I don't think we're completely down and out yet. We would have to return 100% to Christianity, to Catholicism. And I think if we return 100% to Catholicism and put ourselves under the mantle of Our Lady, we can't be stopped. But that may be something that happens outside of our lifetimes. When the chips are really down and people actually realize, oh, all this other stuff was nonsense. And the only way forward is our Lord and Savior. So it's we'll see how that works going forward. All right, like I said, we're gonna kind of end the show a little bit early tonight. We're not done yet. We still have one more story. Sorry, give me back here. And we're gonna end on some laughs. If you haven't seen this stuff flying around the interwebs, but the ESPYs were last night, and I know nobody watches the ESPYs, but the ESPYs did something kind of crazy. And according to Santos, they're coming to work, drink, not present to vote, and having blank in cages. Oh, you're talking about the representatives of conference. Yeah. I saw that too from Santos. Yeah, it doesn't shock me what Santos said about that, Mendez, because those people are completely awful and they're degenerates. So it is what it is. Yeah. I don't know, but even elections in Europe, I don't think that's going to do much because they're either like super communists or just leftists. Oh, you ever had this mushroom coffee? It's awful. It's awful. So there's really not like a right wing in Europe outside of like Conor McGregor running for president of Ireland, and that's just wacky. Speaking of wacky, so ESPN allowed Shane Gillis to run and MC the ESPYs. And let's just say he had a lot of fun. I got 3 clips for you. And I'm just going to let you enjoy them.
Joe Rogan actually wanted me to be here to host this award show so that I could capture Adam Silver because Joe thinks he's an alien. And Donald Trump wanted me to be here to capture Juan Soto for the same reason. It's an alien joke. Wait, you booed up there, dude? Shut up.
That's the first one.
Donald Trump wants to stage a UFC fight on the White House lawn. The last time he staged a fight in D.C., Mike Pence almost died. All right. You don't have to do that. It was fine. I didn't write it. Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but as it got deleted. Must have probably deleted itself, right? Probably never existed, actually. Let's move on as a country and ignore that.
I don't know if Shane Gillis is related to Dobby Gillis. He's a pretty funny comedian. He's not conservative, but he's kind of like, he's just a moderate. So he makes fun of everybody. And his Donald Trump impression is the best Donald Trump impression you'll ever hear. And I think he's actually pretty hysterical.
Megan Rapinoe could not make it tonight. Nice. No, we're going to pretend she's a good time. All right.
Now, the reason I show you these is because you got people like Jason Whitlock and you have others saying Shane Gillis's performance at the ESPYs is the signaling of the end of woke. And they always do this. They always say, oh, this event here signals the end of woke. And that doesn't mean anything because woke is like a cold sore. You know, it bubbles up for a time and then it just goes back into the immune system until it's ready to strike again. Woke is not gone. Woke is not out of sports. And so the fact that people are trying to do this, like you already had this article today, Fear Buck. Oh, no, that's a good one. He tricked everybody into thinking his friend's wife was an NBA player, which is pretty funny. But this lady, Sarah Spain, obviously a white woman, in a year of crazy growth for women's sports, choosing an ESPN host who doesn't even try to make clever jokes about women's athletes. He goes with hacky, no one knows who the WNBA is, which nobody knows who the WNBA is outside of Caitlin Clark and maybe Angel Reese. And Megan Rapinoe is bad, which she is, insults black women. Megan Rapinoe is not black, so I don't know why that's anything. And And so it's kind of funny to see bits of sanity and bits of normalcy peek through, and then everybody's so desperate on the right or in conservatives want woke to go away. Like, this is the end of woke. Top Gun Maverick is the end of woke. This movie is the end of woke. This show is the end of woke. We've been hearing the end of woke for 3 or 4 consistent years. And yet we're still dealing with it in schools. We're still dealing with it in TV shows. We're still dealing with it in conversations. We're still dealing with it with churches. So enjoy Shane Gillis's stand-up. It's a 9-minute monologue. You can find it on X or a bunch of other I'm sure it's on Facebook and other places. Maybe I'll drop it in the Texas Crusader group if you guys are nice enough. If you guys are nice to me and not make fun of my beautiful Ridgeline. Rest in peace. I do miss my Ridgeline, but maybe I'll drop it in there or whatever the case may be. Check it out. It's pretty funny. He talks about Bill Belichick. His Bill Belichick joke is awful, but hysterical. He has like 3 or 4 jokes about Caitlin Clark. Let me see if I have enough. That one's a pretty good one. Let me see if I can find that. Because Caitlin Clark, ESPY. ESPY's such a stupid name for an award. It really is. Like, you have an ESPY. I don't want to win an ESPY. That sounds awful. That sounds terrible. Here we go. I hate how everybody puts their watermark on stuff. It's like, that's not your clip. Take your watermark off that. It's not yours. You didn't build it, which they didn't, but that is what it is. The Texas Crusader group is a Signal group that we set up a long time ago, my friend. If you'd like to be included in it, you can send me a message on X or whatever, and I think I have some pull there, and I'll get you back into it. You know, they talk, they make fun of my Ridgeline. That's really what the whole group's about. They just make fun of my Ridgeline all day. It's okay. My Ridgeline was a good truck, and it was a truck, and I'm not replaying this, guys. I'm not doing this again. Okay, it's a truck. But yeah, the fact that the ESPYs really still exist, here's why it still exists, is because it's content. Because if they don't have it, they got to fill that time spot. And that's all these shows, these award shows, they just fill time slots. So this is the one that he said about
when Caitlin Clark retires.
Hold on.
When Caitlin Clark retires from the WNBA, she's going to work at a Waffle House so she can continue doing what she loves most, fist fighting black women.
I thought that was a good one. Right, Brittany Hicks does look like Biden's press secretary. You're looking for an all-wheel drive Ridgeline? Well, Michael Thomas, do not besmirch the Ridgeline on this program. I will ban people for a few reasons. Besmirching the Ridgeline is one of them. It is a line that will not be crossed. Anyway, I haven't had the thing in 2 years yet. I'm still very defensive about my truck. So, all right. Like I said, I want to save a little bit of energy. Mendez, then send me an email. Yeah, he couldn't make fun of the lesbians all-star par, else that would have been, he can make fun of that other stuff, but he can't make fun of the lesbians. So if you would like to contact me for any reason, you can send me an email. Mendez, barrettbrief@gmail.com, and I'll try to get you into that group. But yes, that's it for this episode. I'm going to be live with Steve in about an hour. I just need a minute to, get some more of this terrible. The thing I do like about this awful garbage mushroom coffee is it doesn't have that much caffeine, so it won't keep me up till 5 a.m. Tomorrow. If I had a regular cup of coffee, or like you see, Steve Cunningham cracks open Jocko's on the show. I'm like, if I drank a Jocko, I'd probably be awake until Saturday. It's one of those energy drinks. So I got to be very careful with my caffeine consumption at that point. Like I said, if you have anything you'd like to send me, if you think you found a story or a video clip or something you think would be great on the show, send it to barrettbrief@gmail.com. I'd love to feature it on the program. That would be a lot of fun. So if you guys want to, please do so. I just hope Caitlin Clark doesn't become one of those by the end of her career. Yeah, All-Star Far. I know that's that would be something. I don't want that to happen either. So we hope that. I mean, she's supposedly Catholic and she has a boyfriend. So as of right now, she's not. But let's hope that doesn't change over time. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of RickCast on this Thursday evening. Please do me a favor, like, subscribe. You guys know the deal. My bar rats know what to do. They like, subscribe, they share, they hit the notification bell, they take the link and they put it on whatever social media networks they can, and that helps the show grow. Mushroom. This is a Rise RYZE coffee, mushroom coffee. So it tastes like dirt. Sorry, they're like, it's such a great taste. It tastes like dirt. It's warm dirt with a little bit of caffeine in it. But it is what it is. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Or if you want to hang out with me, you can hang out with me. Just search for News from the Pew on Rumble or on YouTube. We'll be live in about an hour. God bless, ladies and gentlemen. And until that day comes, free Dexter Taylor.